Hello there, welcome to the match live from the Hawthorns as Burnley, or I should say West Brom, sorry, take on Manchester City, who beat Burnley last week, rather controversially, as you may have seen anyway on television. 3-0, a clear dive for the first goal, and then a clear push on the second one, but Burnley should have possibly had a handball, but that's all in the past now. It's all about the future, and Sergio Aguero on the bench today. Big news, big team news for Manchester City. Aguero will start on the bench. So let me give you the two lineups. The team's just about to come out, incidentally, so let me give you the two lineups very quickly before the kick-off. We got West Brom, we got Foster in goal, and then it's McCauley, Inzaghi, Evans and Naram. And then Livermore, Kiriesiak, Barry, Gibbs, Rodriguez, former Burnley player, and Solomon Rondon. On the bench is Hal Robson-Kanu, Claudio Yakov, Matt Phillips, Chris Brunt, Boaz Mayo the goalkeeper, James McLean and Nasser Chadley. And the Manchester City lineup is Henderson in goal, then it's Kyle Walker, John Stones, Nicholas Otamendi and Fabian Delph. And then it comes De Bruyne, Fernandinho, Silva, David Silva, Bernardo Silva, who dived last week to con Burnley out of a penalty. Gabriel Jesus is preferred, and Leroy Sané, who got the third against Burnley last week, will start. On the bench is Bravo, Daniel, Raheem Sterling, Ilkay Gundogan, Sergio Aguero, who could score, who could make City history today, Mangala and Yaya Toure. The referee is Mike Jones. We're all set to go then at the Hawthorns, and it's two live games, remember. And of course there's a day of remembrances as well that's has just been on as well, so they've been they have sort of been done, but we're now ready for the kick-off. And I've got to tell you, City are in the maroon shirts and they're going to attack the goal to our right. West Brom are in like the blue and white stripes with a bluish trim, so off we go. So just to confirm, Man City in the red shirts, expect 3 today of Evans, Inzaghi and McCauley. Gibbs and Naram will play as two wingers, I think. And then you've got Barry, Livermore, Kiriesiak in the midfield, and Rondon and Rodriguez further forward. And City are playing 4-3-3 this afternoon, so they're going to play 4 at the back, of course. Delph, Otamendi, Stones and Walker, you get the feeling, as City try to come forward. Was just kept in play, it was, and City come forward with Leroy Sané over the halfway line. One of the 3 attackers here, and just fell on the ball there a little bit there, Jesus, as he went through. As Stones does a bit of defending there for Manchester City inside their own half. De Bruyne, who I have to say was probably the player of the match against the Clarets last week, certainly ran the show for quite a considerable amount of time. In towards Silva for Manchester City. West Brom attacking the goal to our right, incidentally, in the first half. City to the left, and they're keeping possession rather well. Fernandinho to De Bruyne now. He's popped up on the right hand side, into field again, and good football again to David Silva. Silva gets it there. We covered Manchester City last in that magnificent victory they had over Chelsea. You may recall in the Premier League last 2 or 3 weeks ago, when they went to Chelsea and put on a terrific away display to win 1-0 at Stamford Bridge. West Brom trying to keep it in the corner for Johnny Evans, who's taken over as captain from the departing Darren Fletcher to Stoke. The throw's been taken quickly. De Bruyne out towards the far side, and again City trying to make things work in the opening seconds. And De Bruyne once again has it on the far side, keeps it going. Still 0-0. We've played just under 2 minutes. And City just keeping possession, and then there's a foul there by Johnny Evans, getting a little bit frustrated, but a bit clumsy there to give the free kick. Give free kick away. Free kick to City on the right hand side. De Bruyne might just take it. It's more suited for the right footer. Will it be the left foot? Otamendi and Stones and Fernandinho and Sané all wait on the edge of the area with relish. It's going to be left for Kevin De Bruyne to swing that into the penalty area towards the 6-yard box, and kept alive. Bernardo gets the ball crack across, and then it's a well. It's not a good, well, it wasn't the best ball he's played, but he's found Kyle Walker back to De Bruyne. High octane start this from Manchester City. West Brom pinning them back. Tony Pulis is the grand master of parking the bus, if you like, and he will make his West Brom team very hard to break down. Remember, they've already played each other as Dove gets the crossing towards the penalty area. The ball nodded down and away by West Bromwich Albion, who are a little bit up against it at the moment. Here's Walker though from Manchester City. De Bruyne keeper possession well. Silva towards Delph. Delph 25 yards out, strikes it wide with his left foot and into the advertising audience past Ben Foster's left and Ben Foster's far post. But there it is. That's the effort that's just gone wide. I've just seen on a monitor. This isn't the first game we're covering. This isn't the only game we're covering this weekend. We've got another live match tomorrow afternoon. I should tell you that the Birmingham Aston Villa match will be live on the YouTube channel. Join us at 11:50 for a 12 o'clock kickoff just down the road at St Andrews. Birmingham Villa in the Championship, our live offering tomorrow. Here's Nairn now trying to burst down that right hand flank, but he's run out of pitch. There was just too much purchase perhaps on the ball, and behind for a goal kick. These two have already met once before this season in the Carabao Cup, and it was a dramatic match. Very close run thing. West Brom were quite unfortunate to come out the wrong side of just a 2-1 result. So Tony Pulis will know what City are all about, and they put out a pretty strong City lineup. Pep Guardiola's team needed penalties to get past Wolverhampton Wanderers on Wednesday, I think it was on Tuesday night, and then complained about the balls that they're using in the Carabao Cup. Here's Rondon now inside the City penalty area. An early opportunity to see if West Ham could strike an early blow there, but good defending there. But De Bruyne again, he's here, there and everywhere, and we've only been playing about 5 minutes. Kevin De Bruyne, he's certainly a man possessed. Certainly this season he's been playing really well, and I think he's been at the hub of everything good that City have done. Long ball forward looking towards Bernardo, but he can't be found, and then Sané chases the next ball, headed away by the defenders, and it's Nairn now touching it back, and McCauley, the experienced hand, knocking it away for West Bromwich Albion. Still 0-0 here, 5 minutes gone at the Hawthorns. West Brom, the Baggies, you had a little bit of a slow start by their standards, but you would think they will be up for the fight against the leaders. They don't make it easy for teams. They have had a few draws at the Hawthorns this season, I have to say. Stealth has it on the left hand side, then checks back 2 or 3 times, and then finds Otamendi, who gives that away now, and a chance here for Rondon to break, but the ball is badly overhit and it will go straight to goalkeeper Edison without his protective cap, rugby skull cap. Delph plays it in field to Bernardo, gets the ball back, and now John Stones will leave it to Kevin De Bruyne, who back plays it to John Stones. They play a little neat 1-2 together, unchallenged, and the ball's over halfway over towards the far side. And a chance here inside the penalty area, ball back across. Jesus was early there. Silva turning it back in towards Jesus inside the 6-yard area. Shot comes in, blocked there from Leroy Sané by the desperate defence by West Bromwich Albion. And all of a sudden, City now going for the cutthroat in this opening exchanges. And City have it again on the far side. Ball in towards the... As it comes to Delph now, right foot, tucks it in there, used his left foot to control it, but then doing it too many times. Ball over to the far side, and it's Sané now for Manchester City. Sané laying it back, and a chance here for Fernandinho on the edge of the area, but again crowded out by the Baggies defence. It's all Manchester City at the moment in this opening 7 or 8 minutes. And here's Kyle Walker picking it up 10 yards inside the West Brom half. Good open start to the game. Mike Jones getting the game breathe, letting it flow. Good refereeing. Walker now to the far side. Silva into towards Sané. And here's David Silva, edge of the area to De Bruyne. De Bruyne's first touch was really poor and allowed Nairn to go in there and pinch it. And the ball's been knocked back towards Ben Foster, former England goalkeeper, who just hooks it down the field, and in fact City get a throw about 3 yards, almost about 10 yards from the edge of the penalty area. But an interesting passage of play there, as really Manchester City went for the cutthroat. It was good defending there by West Brom to keep them at bay. Really good defence at the moment, as West Brom have to defend again. We'll keep you abreast in a moment or two when we actually get a breaking play of any early goals that have gone in the Premier League. We'll keep you up to date with the rest of the scores, and then after the classifieds, as the shot comes in from Fabian Delph, again left-footed, about 25 yards. It's curled away from goal for a goal kick. Just getting back after the game today, we'll hit the classified football results, all the tables, and then we'll finish at about 20 past 5. There's Sergio Aguero, and he could break the City goal scoring record today, tied on 177 goals. Got one against Burnley in controversial circumstances last week. Not that I like to brag about it or keep on going about it, but there we go. Just to let you know that the live chat has been disabled again for obvious reasons. There has, as I say, in quite a number of recent months, there has been a lot of bad language used on the channel, on the live chat. So again, the live chat has been barred. It is a family show. 9 minutes gone, and still we haven't had a proper breaking play to bring you any other scores from the Premier League. 5 games taking place around about the same time, and then we've got Bournemouth and City kicking off at 5:30 as West Brom come forward, or as West Brom have got to do to defend it. As Sané shoots, and he shoots into the corner. What a superb goal! 10 minutes gone. Leroy Sané, who got one against Burnley last week, has just struck a fantastic blow, and it's no more than what City deserve. They have been really coming at West Brom right from the word go, and Leroy Sané could have scored about 3 minutes ago, has scored now. No doubt he was onside. Nyman was definitely playing him on, gets in on the left foot, and bang, into the far corner it goes. Far right hand corner off Ben Foster's net, and as soon as he loses his right foot here, Ben Foster doesn't stand a chance at all. It's a wonderfully worked goal. City, good value for their lead. And West Brom now, after going ultra defensive in the first 10 minutes, have now got to try and come out and attack Manchester City, which is, I have to say, easier said than done perhaps. But it's a great goal from City, and maybe it's just as well really that City have been the better team and they've dominated possession. And the league leaders, who start the day 3 points ahead of Manchester United, 2 points ahead of Manchester United, the gap could be back to 5 by the end of play if City win. Manchester United, I was going to say before Sané scored a late goal against Tottenham Hotspur in a big clash at lunchtime, and it was Anthony Martial with the late goal there that sent scenes of delirium around Old Trafford, I can tell you. 0-0. No, it's 1-0 I should say, but we're just about to, well, as soon as we get a moment or two we will check on the other game. So it's 1-0 here at Hawthorns, and it's given away to Sané. Sané now towards the penalty area, back heel now to Silva. Silva shoots, hits it bit tame in the end, might have got a deflection, but Ben Foster behind the shot, and in the end West Bromwich Albion there surviving. Really poor defending again. Sané, good back heel, and Silva's left with a shot, just gets a slight deflection, but Ben Foster diving away to his left, that makes a very comfortable save. Right, scorelines around the country, as you know, 1-0 in the game we're watching here, and all the others: Arsenal, Swansea, Palace, West Ham, Liverpool, Huddersfield, and Watford and Stoke, all 0-0s at the moment. 5 games taking place at 3 o'clock today. You know about Manchester United beating Spurs, and Bournemouth Chelsea is a 5:30 kickoff, and it's 1-1 at the other end. It's Jay Rodriguez, it's just popped in to score the equaliser, and West Brom, who were on the ropes for so much in that first 12 minutes, have just equalised. Amazing scenes here at the Hawthorns. Jay Rodriguez, the former Burnley man, fire Southampton, a long ball over the top. Rodriguez was there, chipped it over Edison and into the net, and cue scenes of unbridled joy here at the Hawthorns. West Brom 1, Man City 1, and Jay Rodriguez gets his second goal of the season. And as a Burnley fan and as a man who started his career at the club, it's a great moment for me to describe that. Pep Guardiola, hands crossed, arms crossed, in a very, very foul mood indeed. 13 minutes gone, Jay Rodriguez has just equalised. As I was going through all the other scores from up and down the country, it caught me by surprise, but West Brom are level 1-1. Wow, what an amazing start to this game. All the other scores, incidentally, are 0-0. Phew! No time to catch your breath. City deserved their lead, but then I have to say, I suppose it's a case in point, really, when all is well, when you've just scored a goal and City have just proved it there. It doesn't matter how good you are. So if it was to stay this way, folks, the gap would be 3 points at the top of the Premier League between the two Manchester clubs. Boy, are we going to be in for some season here at the top of the Premier League. The match live from the Hawthorns. West Brom 1, Manchester City 1. And the ball back by Otamendi to the goalkeeper Ederson, who had no chance for that little lob by Jay Rodriguez. What a proud moment for me as the commentator, coming from Burnley, those parts where Jay Rodriguez was brought up and started his footballing education and career, if you like. Given his full debut, of course, by Owen Coyle in that 2008-9 promotion season. And maybe he's bringing himself into England contention. There's been a lot of talk about that. Fernandinho now with the right footed shot, and it's gone in off the post! 3 goals in 14 and 45 seconds. How cruel, and West Brom have got themselves back into the game. Tony Pulis just stands, hands in his pockets, but Fernandinho's cracked one in with his right foot from all of 25 yards, hits the left-hand post and goes into the right-hand corner of the net. Can you believe that? 3 goals in the first 15 minutes, and it takes a deflection off Gareth Barry of all people, the former Manchester City player. Unbelievable. I think we've got a game on here, folks. I think we've chosen a very good match here for our coverage this weekend. And hopefully the big Second City derby just down the road from the Hawthorns tomorrow will just be as dramatic as this. West Bromwich Albion 1, Manchester City 2. My goodness, Sani and Fernandinho the scorers. We've got a free kick here, by the way. And it's Kanachak who's going to take it. Excuse me for the pronunciation, it's a very tough name to spell. So Rodriguez is in there, Johnny Evans is in there, tried to play a quick one there, but it's a corner. They've forced the corner here, West Bromwich Albion. Karajak just didn't have the wherewithal to get it through, but it was good discipline in there by Manchester City. But they've got some defending to do now. 2-1 they lead, but West Brom here far from out of any contest as this corner comes in towards the 6-yard area. Ederson only punching it, but City get it away. Now Naran will bring it back with great interest, and really this game's certainly coming to the boil. Naran gets a cross in towards the edge of the penalty area. Sani picks it off, and now Sani on the break for Manchester City. He's over halfway. He's got Jesus and Bernardo to his left. Bernardo chips it in there towards Jesus, and in the end Johnny Evans getting back there. Experience showing there from the former Manchester United man, and he got that one away. And here is Bernardo to Fernandinho, who's just scored a cracking second Manchester City goal. Some cracking goals going in here at the Hawthorns this afternoon. We've had 3 so far. Liverpool 0, Huddersfield 0 is a latest score. Arsenal 0, Swansea 0 is a latest score. Crystal Palace and West Ham is 0-0. And Watford and Stoke are 0-0. The only 3 goals in the 3 and Cockers have come here in our commentary game. Of course, earlier today, Manchester United for Anthony Martial claimed a late 1-0 win at Old Trafford against Tottenham Hotspur. So as things stand now, the gap would be 5 points, but we are still in early match territory here. In fact, Stoke have taken the lead at Watford, so Stoke 1 up in that game at Watford. So An important one for Stoke. Tony Pulis' old team. Meanwhile, Nicholas Otamendi's been fouled. Or it's fouled one of the West Brom players. I can't tell you who it is. Mike Jones, Johnny on the spot. Free kick to West Bromwich Albion. It was Jay Rodriguez he fouled, and it was a clear push. Shame he didn't get penalised last week when he scored that second goal against Burnley. But really, West Brom have just got to keep in the game. Pulis knows that his team are still in it, despite 2 goals being conceded. They have got one in between, so they've got back into it once. There's nothing to say they can't get back into it again. Real cracker here at the Hawthorns. 1-0 to Stoke at Watford and 0-0 everywhere else. And here come West Brom with Nyram on the right hand side. Runs into traffic, and here comes Fernandinho. And he's been taken out by Nyram, and it will be a free kick 10 yards from the halfway line inside their own half to Manchester City. Wow. You cannot pause for breath in this game. I tell you, what a first half we've had here. We've had 19 minutes of sheer high-octane football, end-to-end stuff. It's been. I don't think you could call this a league game. It's more like an FA Cup type the way this game has gone about. And if I tell you what, we've got possible renaissance in West Midlands football if Wolves or Aston Villa or Birmingham could somehow get back into the big time. My goodness, West Midlands football will have a real renaissance again. And we've got so many famous teams. Wolverhampton Wanderers, a great old side, doing very well at the moment at the top of the Championship, although Sheffield United have gone there after a glorious win at Leeds last night in the Championship. But Wolves could go back top today if they win today. And of course we've got the big Birmingham derby tomorrow, and I for one cannot wait for that. It should be a real cracking of a game tomorrow, and they are very fiercely contested, those Birmingham derbies. They really are, and I'm certainly looking forward to it. Meanwhile, it's 2-1 here as Rondon controls on the edge of the City box. He's got a player out towards the far side. Little dink cross back in there. It was Rodriguez's cross, but it's knocked away. And City have lost a man there, or they've had a man foul, but it's play on, and now the referee will have to pull it back. City found the play going forward as Macaulay plays the ball through back to Edison, who surely City will put the ball out of play here, so their player can receive treatment. And I'm sure the referee will go back and book the West Brom player in question. I couldn't tell you. Oh, the game's been played at a million miles an hour. Yeah, predictably, it's Johnny Evans, formerly of Manchester United. This was the opportunity again. It's Fernandinho there, and it's De Bruyne who's been taken out. It was a very bad challenge there from Johnny Evans. Certainly one-footed, and the studs were showing. And to be fair to Johnny Evans, he accepted it with all the good grace. Very good grace indeed. Coming up towards the halfway mark of the first half. And what a first half it has been so far. West Bromwich Albion 1, Manchester City 2. Meanwhile, Arsenal 0-0, Crystal Palace West Ham 0-0. Watford Stoke 1-0. Earlier today, Manchester United 1, Tottenham 0. And Liverpool, of course, drawing 0-0 with Huddersfield Town 2. Bosom buddies meeting in that game. Jurgen Klopp and David Wagner. Meanwhile, the throw is knocked out of play by Nyram, and again it'll be a goal kick. 22 minutes gone, still 2-1. Yeah, it's been. So we've had 4 goals in total in the 3 o'clockers. 1 for West Brom, 2 here for Manchester City. So 3 in this game, and 1 at Watford Stoke. Stoke have got. We'll give you a full lowdown, a full roundup of the first half scores, half-time scores, as we get them around the country this afternoon. Meanwhile, West Brom have it. It was a poor kick out there from Edison. It went straight to Johnny Evans, ball in towards Rondon. Rodriguez will try and put the next one with Kyle Walker. Silva and Rodriguez competing for it, still inside the City half, and it's still deep inside the City half. City making a little bit of a haul, except trying to get the ball away, certainly over halfway. They did get it over halfway, but it's West Brom's throw. It's been an only exciting 20 odd minutes, that's for sure. Rodriguez with West Brom's goal, but sandwiched in between goals for Leroy Sané and Fernandinho, who hit a massive right foot grasper that took a deflection, hit the post and went into the far right hand corner to give City a 2-1 lead. And here's Fabian Delph just trotting out on the left hand side and then playing a rather odd pass there to John Stones, but they've kept possession anyway, regardless of which, so it doesn't really matter. Here's John Stones again. Fernandinho dummies it, and Kyle Walker loses it, but it did come off a West Brom player last, so it is a Manchester City throw. Coming up towards 24 minutes on the clock, and it's 2-1 to Manchester City. De Bruyne, who's probably covered more blades of grass than anybody else so far on the field, as Delph plays that in towards Jesus, and now Delph takes it up. Now Leroy Sané just linking it together on the left hand side a little bit. Now Silva takes charge, now finds Otamendi. Otamendi now on halfway, just inside their own half in fact, City, and Stones gets it into the West Brom half. Now Fernandinho takes over into the centre of the field. A little touch back there by Jesus to Silva. Silva couldn't control it, but they're still keeping possession here, Manchester City. Now Fabian Delph on the left hand side, cuts in field, and again gets the ball back from Silva. And Fernandinho now takes it on. Leroy Sané. It's David Silva again. He's covering quite a bit of blade of grass, quite a few blades of grass already in this opening 24.5 minutes. And then Otamendi doing well to get the ball back to his goalkeeper Ederson. And Ederson to Bruyne, back to Stones, now to Fernandinho. Swansea have taken the lead at the Emirates Stadium, so things not looking good for Arsenal at the moment. The AGM was a bit of a PR disaster for the club, of course, and when Stan Kroenke's son was voted out by the supporters, out of the board by the supporters, only for Stan Kroenke himself to reinstate his son onto the board. Really did kick off big time then, and Ivan Gazidis as well, his contribution didn't help. And of course, well, they were going to review Wenger's position at the end of the season. At the moment, Swansea, who are in the bottom three at the start of play, have got themselves a lead. Here's De Bruyne. City have got themselves a 2-1 lead. Free header inside the 6-yard box, and it hits the stanchion. And it was David Silva who ghosted in there. It's a lovely cross from the far side. Kevin De Bruyne with the cross, right-footed. And, well, David Silva very close to making it 3-1 to Manchester City here. And just hits the stanchion at the back of Ben Foster's goal away to the right, to the left, sorry. Well, Liverpool 0, Huddersfield 0, Arsenal 0, Swansea 1, Palace West Ham 0-0, and Watford 0, Stoke City 1. And it's Manchester City now coming forward over the halfway line. Good football again from the men from Manchester. Out for a throw over on the far side. Been a decent watch so far, as they come forward once again. Remember, Watford 0, Stoke 1, and Swansea shocking the world at the Emirates at the moment. That could be a big result for Swansea if they were to hang on there, but Arsenal are still a good team, and they've had some good results in the Europa this week, and then of course they had a good result in the Carabao competition, although albeit they needed extra time to beat Norwich. City needed penalties to get through their match with Wolverhampton Wanderers. In fact, City and Arsenal were under investigation for bringing on 2 substitutes in extra time, and it's a little bit of confusion over the Football League rules. And then there was the uproar with the cup draw. Plenty of talking points really over the last few days in the game. And here's a De Bruyne now. Can we be seeing another positive talking point this time? De Bruyne's pass was easily cut out. Now a chance here for Karajak now to come forward. Karajak still going forward. Karajak playing a plate through towards Solomon Rondon. He went right through the middle and in the end probably took it one pace or two too far. Coming up towards 28 minutes of the game gone, and a good performance at the moment from Manchester City, although you've got to give credit to West Brom. They do enjoy themselves when they're up against the big teams. I think most of the inferior teams, with all due respect, do that. And you've got to play to your strengths, and they certainly have done that today. Tony Pulis' side, they've really given it a good go. Otamendi now to Bernardo. Bernardo just getting past his man Livermore and then playing the ball in towards Silva inside the penalty area, and again some good tackling there, last ditch tackling there from the likes of McCauley and Evans. Now onside, is offside in fact. Solomon Rondon, I just thought for a moment he timed his run, but the linesman was Johnny on the spot and the offside has been given. So remember, just to remind you all, tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow lunchtime from St Andrews we have live football on the Championship. It's Birmingham against Aston Villa, the second City derby, one of the fiercest derbies in English football, and we'll bring it to you from 10 to noon here on this YouTube channel. Our second Championship live match of the season, and our first one we saw Aston Villa not too far away at Villa Park get a 1-1 draw against Hull City, as the ball is threaded through to David Silva by Leroy Sané, but Johnny Evans cutting that out. And really Livermore playing a little bit of chicken there with Johnny Evans, but they're getting away with it, playing some wonderful 1-2s. A little bit stylish perhaps from the Tony Pulis team. Nyren now, one ball forward. Rodriguez can't chase that one, and it's easy there for the goalkeeper Edison. Rondon is quickly closing him down, but Edison had more than enough time to size up the situation. Coming up towards half an hour gone, it's been a frantic game so far at the Hawthorns. Manchester City leading West Brom, the host, by 2-1 here, and here comes City again, just keeping possession and keeping it rather coy at the moment. Here's De Bruyne now 10 yards inside the West Brom half, plays it out to the far side and Silva is there. Silva to Walker, Walker back towards Silva once again, or rather Bernardo I should say. Here's Fernandinho trying to set it up for Manchester City, but it's given away and hooked away towards Rondon now, who tries to take it 10 yards from halfway, then tries to bundle over halfway with three maroon shirts there right around him. But here come Manchester City again. They're looking very good at the moment. Here's Fabian Delph now for City. Plays the ball back towards Otamendi. Now Silva takes charge. Silva now 10 yards inside the West Bromwich Albion half. Finds De Bruyne. De Bruyne now plays that in towards Leroy Sané, the first goal scorer. Here's a chance now for Bernardo. Bernardo now out to the far side. Still City asking all the questions. Bernardo now goes again. Can he turn? Still Bernardo, far side, and now De Bruyne chips that in towards the far post, but there's nobody waiting inside the 6-yard area, and it's easy this time for Nyren to get it away for West Bromwich Albion, and it's hooked well over halfway, and Rondon looked as if he was fouled there, and the referee has not said a free kick at all. I have to say it looked a little bit of a dodgy one. He did fall over the City player, I have to say, but the referee didn't give it. Liverpool 0, Huddersfield 0, Swansea winning at Arsenal, Palace West Ham 0-0, Watford 0, Stoke 1. The other scores from the 3 o'clockers. Earlier today, a late Anthony Martial goal after 81 minutes gave Manchester United all 3 points at Old Trafford against Tottenham Hotspur in the lunchtime game. Bournemouth against Chelsea kick off at 5:30 in the afternoon. Here in our featured match, it's West Brom 1, Manchester City 2 at the Hawthorns. Fernandinho has it back towards a long ball up towards Leroy Sané. Ben Foster's quickly out of his goal, takes it well inside his penalty area, and takes a little bit of heat off the West Brom lads. 32.5 minutes gone. We're now into the final quarter of an hour of the first half, and Foster kicks away from his hands, straight out of his hands. A long ball that finds Jay Rodriguez, Rodriguez did rather well. Now here's a chance now for West Brom to come charging forward, and it comes to Livermore edge of the area. Livermore trying to knock it in there, and then Delph with a mistake. Rondon with a header, but it's a bit tame. It was from a long way out, and it would have asked a lot to have chipped, to have nodded it over Edison from at least a good 19 yards out. But in the end, some good passage of play here, and it gives it's a feather in West Bromwich Albion's cap that they're doing well to just keep on top of it right now. It's not easy. And here comes Livermore. That was the replay, I should say. I nearly repeated what I said before. But so far, so good at the moment. So Kieran Gibbs is the number 3, and he's giving it away. Opportunity now for West Brom now having to do some defending here. That's a good ball in towards the far post, but it's well out of play there. Little chip back by Bernardo, but in the end from the far side, but he couldn't quite get there. And in the end, it's out of play. Well, it's been a first half to remember anyway from both teams, and I've got to say it's been all action entertainment so far. 2-1. And a game that has really ebbed and flowed all the way throughout. And we're still another 10 minutes of this to go, I've got to tell you. And it's been an interesting passage of 35 minutes worth of play. A game that really has ebbed and flowed all the way through, and we've got ourselves a very good situation here at the moment. Remember, Arsenal 0, Swansea 1, Liverpool 0, Huddersfield 0, Crystal Palace 0, West Ham 1. Not looking good at the moment again for Crystal Palace. Oh, as I say, you'll be feeling right now, and Stoke winning, of course, as you know, at Watford. So it's all happening here. At the Hawthorns. 2-1 is the score. Earlier today, Manchester United 1, Tottenham 0. Just in case you're joining us, we'll have a full half-time roundup from the Premier League, the Championship. We'll have a quick 5 minutes, but then we're going to check the half-time Premier League scores, the half-time Championship scores, because there's some big games in that today. And then Leagues 1 and 2, Scottish Premier Division. And then it's the second half live, and then at 5 o'clock British summertime, because it is British summertime for at least another day before, as we just break off for a moment. And City keeping it on the far side to Bruyne back in field to Silva to the far side. Here's Walker's low cross in towards Bernardo, little flick there towards Sane will get the ball, but Livermore nicks it away and brings it away for West Brom. Yes, it's the last day of British summertime, folks, and then it's GMT as from tomorrow, because the clocks go back tonight. So don't forget, those who are living in Great Britain, anybody who's listening to this stream live in Great Britain today, would you remember, please make sure that you get your extra hour in bed, because the clocks go back tonight. So there we are, nice little timely reminder from this YouTube channel as Sani now goes forward. Sani tried to get the ball through the Silva, and in the end it was Wilkerson at the upper end. So great first half that has really ebbed and flowed. It's been a commentator's dream, this first half, it really has, but no real shock so far as De Bruyne comes forward. But again, for entertainment value, this has been a 9 out of 10. Swansea though are probably the biggest shockers at the moment. West Ham winning at Palace. Here comes City again towards the 6-yard box. Sani was lurking, and Nyram had to head it out for a corner to Manchester City. 38 minutes almost gone. We've had 37 minutes and 40 seconds. That's a lovely move again. Bernardo with the cross back, and Nyram, I should say, knocking it out for a corner. Leroy Sané, who got the first goal to take. Left footed in towards the 6-yard box, headed away, but now Kai Razak will take possession now for West Brom. Wins a throw off David Silva near side. Midway inside the West Bromwich Albion half. Goals at every game now except at Anfield. Well, Liverpool and Huddersfield are drawing 0-0, and Huddersfield at the moment could have a great result at Anfield if they were to hold. What a momentous day it could be for David Wagner. Of course, they beat Manchester United in the match last week at John Smith's. Real game that was. Very enjoyable, that one. Here come Manchester City once again. Those maroon shirts planning forward, and in fact a free kick's been given against Johnny Evans, who really does have to watch his step. No more lip would really be appropriate now for the West Brom captain, because any more lip, and he did lash out a little bit there at Bernardo. Certainly the intent was there, although Bernardo, as we saw last week, does make a great deal of it. We have seen him make a great meal out of everything. Still public enemy number one in my eyes after his silly antics last week. Free kick, which Silva and Sané and De Bruyne, a three-man committee over it. It looks like David Silva is the favourite. De Bruyne is walking a bit further away, so it looks as if it's a two-man committee rather than a three-man committee. It's going to be neither Sané or David Silva here. I would wager it being... No, it's Leroy Sané. He's it over the bar with his left foot. Goal kick. I thought it might have been Silva, but we've had 40 minutes, 5 to go. West Brom 1, Man City 2. That's the free kick. Over the wall and over the bar. Into the West Brom fans behind that goal. And well, we're not disappointed the way the game has gone from an entertainment viewpoint. Here's Silva now for Manchester City, getting the ball back towards Ederson. Oh, I tell you what, Ederson took a risk, but then he found it, and he found the Fernando, but Barry barges him off the ball. Rodriguez now, deep cross towards Rondon. Rondon's header over the bar, just outside the 6-yard box. Well, 4 marks to West Brom. They're not giving that up and pressuring City into making some elementary mistakes. Fabian Delph was the one who made the elementary mistake. So Fernandinho down the river. Rodriguez stayed on side, put a lovely little deep cross in there. And Solomon Rondon, if it had just gone for the far corner rather than the near side corner, I think that would have quite possibly been 2-2. And also he had to keep his header down as well, which probably doesn't help matters. So earlier today, Man United 1, if you join us, Tottenham 0, Martial's goal, Liverpool 0, Huddersfield 0. These are all current scores. Arsenal 0, Swansea 1 there, 41 minutes gone as well in that one. Palace 0, West Ham 1, and Watford 0, Stoke 1. So goals apart in 4 of the 5 FA Cup games. We've got 3 here and 1 each in the games at Vicarage Road, Selhurst Park and the Emirates. Anfield still yet to see a goal today. And the ball back towards the goalkeeper, up towards David Silva. Silva on half wide, finds De Bruyne inside the centre circle, now traps over the halfway inside the West Bromwich Albion half, and Fernandinho now, who got the second goal. Great goal it was too. It's Fabian Delph just to the left of centre. Now Otamendi comes forward and he finds Kevin De Bruyne. De Bruyne now chips that in towards the edge of the penalty area. A little flick there by Gabriel Jesus, but it comes straight towards Ben Foster. 42.5 minutes gone, 3.5 to go. Plus stoppage time at the end of this highly competitive, highly exciting first half here at the Hawthorns in West Bromwich. just outside Birmingham. Coincidentally, Birmingham Aston Villa is our second live offering from the Championship. Tomorrow lunchtime, noon kick-off from St Andrews. 0-0. A cracking 43 minutes of football so far, and now City go on the break looking for a fair one, which would really put the cat amongst the pigeons here as Delph cuts inside. Delph finds Sani. Sani now turns. Good turn by Sani. Towards the edge of the penalty area he goes. Now Silva has it out to the far side. De Bruyne now. Left foot. De Bruyne shoots into the crowd for a goal kick to West Bromwich Albion. And we're now into the last 2 minutes and a half, or into the last 90 seconds I should say, of normal time. As we see that effort goal wide there. But in terms of magnificent entertainment, it's certainly not disappointed. West Brom 1, Manchester City 2. Also, more live football we are from the Champions League this week, I should tell you. And it comes from Wembley, where Tottenham take on Real Madrid in the Champions League. Match day 4. We are back live with Champions League football. Join us from 7:30 with a kick-off at 7:45. UEFA Champions League football. Tottenham Hotspur against Real Madrid. Big game, man, in the Champions League. Remember, Tottenham got a 1-1 draw from the Bernabeu nearly 2 weeks ago. Will Harry Kane be fit for that game? You'll have to wait and see and find out. Oh, and the ball has been knocked in the back of the net, but I think there must have been an offside. Or Karajak is being spoken to by referee Jones, maybe presumably for taking the free kick too quick. I don't know. He's going to have a second bite. I didn't think there was anything wrong with the first free kick, I'm being honest with you. Karajak will get a second go. He's been told to take it a little bit longer this time. It's towards the far side, and Gibbs has missed out. That's a good robust challenge there by Johnny Evans. No foul there on the City man, but City could break, however, with Bernardo Silva. De Bruyne and Sani are waiting in the centre, and now a chance here for Walker to come forward. Bernardo again, far side. Plays it out towards Heatus, who's a little bit further back than he would usually be. Now De Bruyne now for Manchester City into Fernandinho, I should say. David Silva, the captain, to De Bruyne, 25 yards from goal. Silva now has it right of the penalty area, or right at the edge of the D, I should say. 2 minutes of time added on at the end of a first stop. We're now 3/4 of the way through the first one, rest of the two, and it's still 2-1 to Manchester City as we approach half time. And Arsenal Swansea look like it's going to be a real battle there. Crystal Palace are 2-0 down against West Ham. Stoke 1 up at Watford. As things stand at the moment in that game, Manchester United earlier today beat Tottenham by a goal to 0. And Liverpool Huddersfield 0-0. They've had 1 minute of stoppage time there at Anfield. And at the moment, it looks as if the biggest shockers of the day looks like being at the moment Swansea City. We'll give you scorers and on the times of the goals as we get them at the half time. But as I say, we've got 30 seconds of time on. City's just keeping position meanwhile while I'm talking to you. Just to remind you that we'll take a 5-minute break, and then when we come back we'll have a roundup of all the scores from around the country, and then second half commentary of West Brom against Manchester City coming right up for you in about 15-16 minutes time. Here's Silva now, still deep inside stoppage time. It's Sani heads back across the goal, and he just was winning an ace and making it 3-1, and there goes the half-time whistle. So the 2 minutes, he's played about 3 seconds over the 2 that were allotted, but at the moment it's 2-1 there. Leroy Sani with the first one for Manchester City, and then straight away Jay Rodriguez equalised, but then Fernandinho hit a 25-yard deflected goal which went into the back of the net. So half time at the Hawthorns is 0-0. Half time, of course, at everywhere else, although they're still playing at Palace and Watford. We're going to take a 5-minute break. But at the moment, in a very hotly contested game at the Hawthorns, it's West Brom 1, Manchester City 2. Join us in about 5-10 minutes time where I'll round up all the scores from around the country. West Brom 1, Manchester City 2 is the half-time score. Hello there, welcome back to the match live from the Hawthorns. West Brom 1, Man City 2 is the half time. We're just waiting for the two teams to come out. It's just taking a little bit longer than we thought it was going to take, but we are back with you now. So let's just check the half time scores in the Championship, Premier League, and of course there's England Spain in the under 17s final. We'll try and keep you abreast with that, but all the other scores at the moment: Manchester United 1, Tottenham 0. It was an earlier game, 1 with a late goal that decided that. Arsenal 0, Swansea 1, Palace 0, West Ham 2, Liverpool Huddersfield 0-0, Watford 0, Stoke 1, and our match Man City 1, winning 2-1 at West Brom. Right, in the Championship we have half-time scores in that one. Sheffield Wednesday Barnsley, early game, 1-1, it finished there. Burton and Ipswich 0-0. Cardiff Millwall 0-0. Fulham 0, Bolton 1. Good result that for Bolton, struggling for form recently. Norwich 0, Derby 1. Preston and Brentford 1-all. QPR 1, Wolves 1. Reading 0, Middlesbrough 1. Sunderland 1, Bristol City 1. And Hull and Nottingham Forest kick off at 5:30. We're still waiting for the teams to come out at the Hawthorns here at the Hawthorns. Into League 1 we go. Northampton 1, Blackpool 0. That's a full-time result. Bristol Rovers 0, MK Dons 0, Bury 0, Doncaster 0, Charlton 0, Wimbledon 0, Fleetwood 0, Oxford 0, Oldham 1, Scunthorpe 2. Oldham actually on a good run but trailing. Peterborough 1, Shrewsbury 0, Plymouth 1, Rochdale 1, Portsmouth 0, Bradford 0, Rotherham 0, Gillingham 1, Walsall 0, Southend 1, and Wigan and Blackburn 0-0. And finally, finally from England, League 2, as the teams, we're still waiting for the teams to come out. It's still at the moment. Good news for Accrington and Stanley fans, if you're listening. 1-0 you're leading against Barnet. Chesterfield leading Carlisle by the same scoreline, 1-0. Colchester 1, Crewe 1, Forest Green 1, Morecambe 0, Grimsby 0, Cambridge 0, Lincoln 0, Crawley 0, Luton 0, Coventry 1, Mansfield 1, Exeter City 0, Notts County 1, Newport 0, Port Vale 0, Swindon 0, Wickham 0, Cheltenham 1, and Yeovil 3, Stevenage Borough 0. And now just to give you a recap of what's happening in the Scottish Premier Division. Earlier today, Hearts 1, Rangers 3. At half time, Aberdeen 1, Notts County 1, Celtic 1, Kilmarnock 0, Dundee 0, Hamilton Academicals 1, Motherwell 0, Hibernia 1, and Partick Thistle 1, St Johnstone 0. So that's most of your whole half times up to date with. We're now back at the Hawthorns for the second half. Remember, Man City leading 2-1, Liverpool Huddersfield 0-0, Arsenal Swansea just underway, Palace are losing 2-0 at the moment, and Watford losing at home to Stoke. The teams are just about to come out. Sane and Bernardino, the scorers for Man City, sandwiched in between a goal from Jay Rodriguez on 13 minutes. And just a couple of things to remind you before the second half gets underway, that two live games sandwiched in between either Claret's match delayed from Monday night, as Burnley will take on Newcastle as West Brom prepare to get us underway. Tomorrow afternoon it's the second city derby between Birmingham and Aston Villa, and on Wednesday night live Champions League football as West Brom get underway. Tottenham Hotspur versus Real Madrid from Wembley Stadium, Wednesday evening from 7:30. Join us for that one. If you can, there's a chance here early doors for West Brom in the second half. No changes from either side looking to me as Gibbs tries to flick that one on. West Brom really, yeah, we've got to count on themselves first half. They're still in this game, remember, 2-1 down, but know that a goal here would really put them back in the box seat. West Brom in the blue and white stripes, Man City in the maroon, and West Brom now attacking the goal to our right in the to our left, sorry, in the second half, and Man City to the right, kick it to where their fans are based, behind the goal that Ben Foster is defending away to my right. So a good first half, really it was. And we haven't had a good game on the YouTube channel for quite some time. I think we've got a good exciting open flow to the game as West Brom trying to hit back straight away. Jay Rodriguez. So absolutely nothing to choose between them, but Barry wins that one against his old club. He'll be determined to do that and beat the all-time Premier League appearance record, overtaking Ryan Giggs. Well, most of Ryan Giggs' appearances certainly at the start of his career came when the Premier League was then known as the Football League First Division. Ball back to Ben Foster, flicked on again by Gibbs. Gibbs on towards Rondon, and now Enfield again. And Karajak chips it out towards the far side, and Nyren will keep that in. Good purposeful start this from West Brom. Nyren with a right-footed crossing towards Rondon, and in came at the back post Karajak to head towards goal, but it's headed it straight at the goalkeeper's hands, and Edison with an easier save than he would have anticipated. But Nyren there, 4 marks to the cross. Karajak just coming in towards the back post, and in the end his header 8 yards was straight at the keeper. Meanwhile, Leroy Sané at the other end for Manchester City keeps it in play. Finds Silva, now to Bruyne. De Bruyne out to Fernandinho. Now Kyle Walker. Walker chips that in towards the 6-yard area, headed away by Johnny Evans, and now away come West Brom now. Good game, open field of the game. Livermore gets Nyren away, up against Delph down that far side. The West Brom right, infield it goes, but Livermore can't be found, but it might still break though for... Oh, the West Brom player was taken out, but the referee wasn't moving there or budging on that one. Here's Fernandinho, over halfway line it goes, and here comes Jesus. Sergio Aguero still sitting on the bench. We've had 2 minutes of the second half gone. We played 48 minutes. We actually played 3 minutes rather than 2. Sorry, apologies about my maths there. Here's De Bruyne to Silva. Silva deep inside the West Brom half. Buys Walker out on the far side. Walker infield it goes. Bernardo picks up the ball. Finds Walker again. The game being played down the Manchester City right hand flank at the moment. But West Brom have got a few covering defenders back there. And we'll keep you abreast during the second half of what happens in this second half elsewhere. And then a full classified check at around about 5 o'clock UK time. Swedish summer time, just for one more day. The clocks go back of course tonight. So you'll get your extra hour in bed if you live in the UK. Here's Walker now dancing into the penalty. Yeah, Walker shoots with his right foot and just goes past the right hand upright of Ben Foster and out for a play for a goal kick. Well, a lovely bit of football again from Manchester City. It's proven, I suppose, in one sense, they're at the top of the league when they're confident to go for that. Kyle Walker, who signed from Tottenham for well over £50 million during the close season. There was a lot of accusations aimed at him. Had he gone for the right reasons? Had he gone for the money, or was he going to be successful? Well, at the moment it's proven a good decision from his point of view, but whether he did go for the wages, that remains to be seen. We've had nearly 5 minutes of the second half gone. 2-1. All the goals happened in the first quarter of an hour of the game. Here's De Bruyne now, out towards Bernardo. Bernardo now up against Johnny Evans, who's got to be wary now. He can't afford to get sent off. Here's De Bruyne out on the right hand side. Plenty of space to maybe get across into the penalty area, but he plays it towards Bernardo. Bernardo across the detail to Delph. Delph chips it in with his right foot. Bernardo was making a good darty run inside the area. Now here comes De Bruyne to Walker, right hand side. Then back in field, and then Walker gets it back second time. I'm giving away the first time. The first touch from the West Brom player was quite poor and very heavy. And still, here's Bernardo. Bernardo in towards De Bruyne. De Bruyne out to Walker. Walker now keeping possession, and West Brom really just giving it. They're all here, but at the moment it's City constantly on the attack, and they've won a free kick here, about 25 yards from goal, just to the left of centre. And the referee's got to have a word with somebody here. Karajak is the man who's Being spoken to by the referee. No cards needed or necessary from the referee. Just a slight push there on David Silva, though Silva did sort of make a little bit of a meal of it. That's the one trait in City's game that I despise, the attempt to try and con referees out of decisions. We saw that against Burnley last week. But Walker, De Bruyne and Fernandinho are the three-man committee. Just to the left of centre, but it's like good 25 yards from goal. And it looks as if it's going to be De Bruyne up the wall, deflected and wide. And it will be a corner on the far side. De Bruyne with a very casual run up, almost like a bowler prepared to bowl in cricket to a batsman. Like a fast bowler running up in cricket to bowl a ball. So the likes of Exargi and Livermore and Evans will have to be on red alert as that corner comes in towards the penalty area. Headed away though by Exargi, and now a chance here for West Brom to get it out, but Man City have it back again. Silva towards Sani. Sani on the far side. Sani in field again. Chance here for Fernandinho, but he's taking it out of, he's run out of pitch and he can't get the ball back because the pitch has beaten him out. Goal kick to West Bromwich Albion. 53 minutes, we're into the 50. We've had 52 minutes. We're into the 53rd at the Hawthorns in the West Midlands, the Black Country, lovely part of the world. Just on the outskirts of Brom, Birmingham. Ben Foster kicks away. Falworth has played a lot of his football in the Midlands for the likes of Birmingham City, of course. And Boster again gets it away with his left foot, and Walker in to win it. And now here comes De Bruyne. De Bruyne now on towards Bernardo, I should say. Bernardo back to Walker. Now the ball being played around. This is Silva deep inside the Manchester City half, or rather the West Bromwich Albion half still. And City there, John Stones there just having an aberration, and just allowing Rodriguez just half a chance. But he managed to get the ball back to Edison. John Stones cost something in the region of about £50 million from Everton, and didn't have a particularly great first year with the club. Made some really high profile mistakes, as you may remember, last season. But this year so far, Touchwood, he's been a lot more consistent. Here's Delphi's side. City looking a complete team right at the moment, but being made to work hard for possibly the points here by a West Brom side that will not stop working hard. A good ball in there, almost finding it through to Ijas. Gabriel Ijas. Now here's a chance now for Walker to flick it on, but here come West Brom with Gibbs. Gets it over the top now. A chance here for chase on for Rodriguez, but Stones was again in the right place to cushion the header away, and West Brom again. Walker with a dodgy looking back pass, and just a crying shame for West Brom. They were just wanted a bit further forward and towards the far side of the penalty area. Otherwise there could have been an easy opportunity for one of them. Here's Bernardo now over the halfway line. Remember, we've played just almost 10 minutes of the second half. Ball forward, but it's straight into the arms of Ben Foster. Premier League, back on this YouTube channel after a week or two absence. Last game we covered was that dramatic match at Turf Moor between Burnley and West Ham, a Clarets match that had a lot of talking points in it. Almost 2 weeks ago, but we are back with you this weekend with a double header from the Midlands. Here's De Bruyne, levels it up, shoots right footed from 25 yards left to centre, but it's over the top and into the Man City fans for a goal kick to West Brom. Tomorrow, don't forget, if you join us, if you haven't heard already, and have only just joined us, from if your old missus is taking you out to the shops or whatever, you've not been listening to the commentary this afternoon, just to remind you, we have another one tomorrow at noon. If your wife could possibly let you listen to it. We have West Bromwich Albion, not West Bromwich Albion. We've got Birmingham City against Aston Villa. I should tell you, in the Championship, a big second City derby to come, and that's our second commentary of the weekend, and it comes from St Andrews. And I think it'll be a cracker of an afternoon there in that game. Here's Walker now from Manchester City. Over the halfway line it goes. Still 2-1 to City. Played over 11 minutes. We're waiting confirmation from all the other games. When we get a break in play, we will tell you. West Brom about to make a substitution. Al Robson Kanu, I think, about to come on. Al Robson Kanu, we had the great pleasure of commentating, being in a commentary box from the moment he turned a couple of players and shot into the back of the net in that never to be forgotten Welsh victory in the Euros took 2 or 3 years ago. As the ball knocked away there by Johnny Evans. As we're going to see a change here for West Bromwich Albion. First of the day, Al Robson Kanu is the man, replacing Solomon Rondon, and he does add a little bit more to his game, Solomon Rondon. Al Robson Kanu. As West Brom try to move forward, they need to obviously chase the game, of course, but it's important they don't get picked up on the counter attack, because it's important. It just is important that they don't concede a goal like that. But here they are now on the break. Karajak trying to carry that forward, but he's lost possession, or rather Gareth Barry has, and here's a chance now for David Silva over the halfway line. 59 minutes gone. Crystal Palace 1, West Ham 2 is a later score. Watford 0, Stoke 1. As City come forward towards the 6-yard box. Well cut out early today. We'll go through the scores properly now. Man United 1, Tottenham 0. Liverpool scored against Huddersfield, so 1-0 at Anfield there. Clock leading Wagner. Arsenal have turned it around in the second half. They lead Swansea by 2-1. Palace are back in it home to West Ham. It's 2-1 to West Ham. Stoke winning at Watford. So it's all happening here in the Premier League. Here it's 2-1 to Manchester City here, live on the JB Clark YouTube channel. Tomorrow on with me, JB, is Birmingham against Aston Villa in the Championship. Some big games coming up this weekend. And then on Wednesday night, Champions League commentary as Tottenham take on Real Madrid. Here comes De Bruyne. De Bruyne out to the far side, and Bernardo cuts back and finds Delph. Delph will probably, thought he was going to shape to hit it, but he's gone out to the far side. Sané keeps it alive. Sané now far side for City towards David Silva. Silva does well. It's back to Sané inside the area. Sané left of the penalty area. Cuts in field, but again showed too much of it to Naira. But Silva then nicks the ball back. And all of a sudden it's defensive red alert for West Bromwich Albion. Coming up towards an hour gone here at the Hawthorns. West Brom 1, Man City 2. Don't forget, it's and at 5:30 we've got Bournemouth against Chelsea in the Premier League. Liverpool leading 2-0 against Huddersfield as that ball comes in towards the Aegis. But he's fouled his man, free kick. So Liverpool 2 up now against Huddersfield. Klopp leading Wagner. So no repeat, it looks like of Huddersfield's heroics when they beat Manchester United at the John Smith Stadium last week. And Liverpool will go above Burnley in the table. Burnley can't play again until Monday, as Gabriel Jesus absolutely is furious about that decision and actually gets a yellow card for dissent. See Miles City making a substitution. Off comes Bernardo, and on comes Raheem Sterling. Half an hour cameo. Sergio Aguero still yet to enter the play. looking to score his 178th goal for Manchester City, which would actually be the all-time record scorer in Manchester City's pretty illustrious history, although not so illustrious. Certainly been illustrious and only illustrious the last 20 years or so at City. Oh, Ben Foster taking a chance there. Sweeper keeper, he's way off his line. Ball on the left hand side. Sané has it. Foster's back in his goal. The ball back, and in the end City couldn't do with anything. Couldn't do one thing or the other. They could have tried to chip the goalkeeper, who was way out of his ground play sweeper keeper. I have to say Foster's got away with that a bit. Here's Karazak flicking that one on. Here's Gibbs forward. He's got Rodriguez, but he trotted into an offside position, and I think Rodriguez knew it. Head in his hands. Now here's Raheem Sterling from Manchester City. Finding David Silva, just slowing it down a little bit. We're inside the last half an hour. Fernandinho now to Silva. Silva now back to Otamendi, who finds John Stones. John Stones now to Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker now going forward. Good football this for Manchester City. Sterling now laid it into Fernandinho. Midway inside the City half. West Bromwich Albion half, I should say. And here comes City with West Brom with Dyram. Dyram forward again. And again it's intercepted, and that's the problem now. Here's De Bruyne on the right hand side. The West Brom fans now really getting behind their team. 62 and a half minutes of the game gone. West Brom 1, Man City 2 is a latest score. And we've got no change elsewhere. And here come West Brom now trying to get it away. But a real mistake there by the defender, but he's got away with it. But he's done really well. No opportunity for Hal Robson-Kanu to get in the game. Long ball forward, looking towards Gibbs. Gibbs tries to go forward, but straight into the arms of Edison. Still 2-1. Here's Silva on halfway, turns away, deep inside Manchester West Brom's territory, and here is Sané. Sané running at defenders. Sané cuts into the penalty area from the left hand side. Sané to the byline, has to sort of come back on himself. Here's De Bruyne. De Bruyne now out to the far side. West Brom 1, Man City 2. Still a bit to go yet in this game, but at the moment as things stand, City stand to go 5 points clear if they can get over this big hurdle at the Hawthorns today. Here is Sterling on the right hand side. A third City goal would surely do it for them. Here is Silva. Silva now looking for options. He's got Walker free if he chooses to. Goes over to the far side. De Bruyne now. City just toying with the opposition here, and here's Sané in towards De Bruyne. Good skills by De Bruyne. The pass was a bit heavy from Sané. Now walking out of the byline on the right hand side. Pulled back, and it's 3-1. It's 3-1, and it's Raheem Sterling inside the 6-yard box, taps it in from no more than 3 yards out, and that could be the killer goal, and 3 points going up the road, up the M6 to Manchester this evening. But it was a lovely build-up play. There must have been something like 20 odd passes in the build-up to the goal. It worked from left to right flank, then back to left, from left to right, and then all of a sudden a lovely ball here by De Bruyne, a lovely skill that. And then good weight on the pass there, Fernandinho. Definitely onside between two defenders. And ghosted inside the 6-yard box to finish the job off. And it could well be game over now as far as the contest is concerned. It's West Brom 1, Man City 3. The champions at the moment, attacking wise, looking fine, fat up. Or the champions elect, I should say, leaders. The champions are Chelsea. But oh, I'll get ahead of myself. 65 minutes gone then. West Brom 1, Man City 3. And no change in the scores elsewhere. Man United 1 earlier today. Liverpool 2 up. Arsenal 2-1 up. West Ham 2-1 up at Huddersfield, at Crystal Palace rather. And Stoke still leading at Watford. Don't forget at 5:30 we've got the Premier League have got Bournemouth versus Chelsea. That could be a good game, and we've got tomorrow for the Championship, not too far down the road from the Hawthorns. Well, we got a big game on the Championship, and it's a big, they don't come any bigger than Birmingham City against Aston Villa, second City derby. and we'll be there for St Andrews tomorrow lunchtime. So you could say it's a Midlands double header really. The game we'll bring you today comes from the West Midlands, the Black Country, just outside Birmingham, in fact West Bromwich. And here's a chance now. Sally looked to appear as if he controlled it with his hand, but may have come off the chest, but Nyren recovered well for West Brom. Round Barry played a 1-2 with him, and now back with Nyren, gets a long ball forward. West Brom 1, Man City 3. We played 66 and a half minutes, almost 66 and a half minutes here at the Hawthorns. 3-1 to Manchester City, who have attacked really well, attacked right from the word go, scored 3 very good goals, and look, a far cry from the team that needed to simulate and cop the referee to get a result at home to Burnley last week. Look, a far different outfit. They played some very attractive football this week. And that's a good long ball forward, and almost got Hal Robson-Connor in behind. In fact, he's been penalised for offside. 67 minutes on the clock. West Brom 1, Man City 3. Edison has been a virtual spectator for the second half, and obviously there's going to have to be an alteration here. Matt Phillips is about to enter the fray, so it looks as if one of the defenders is being sacrificed. I think it's Gareth McCauley. It is, yeah. So he's sacrificing a defender to bring on another attacker. Matt Phillips is a very good attacker. We saw him make some very good runs in the match we covered with West Brom at the start of the season against Burnley, when they pitched a 1-0 scoreline from Turf Moor in a game they should have really lost, because they were second favourites in the game. There were second favourites in a 2-horse race with Burnley, yet they somehow managed to snuck away with a 1-0 result. But that's the way of the world in this day and age. Sometimes you don't get what you deserve in life, and in football too. An enjoyable match though. It's been really enjoyable. I've really enjoyed bringing it to you live here on this YouTube channel. Still no changes elsewhere in the other scores. Stoke winning, West Ham winning, Liverpool winning, Arsenal winning, City winning here. Good day at the moment for all the big boys. Here's Gibbs now for West Brom. Long ball forward. A chance here for Robson-Canu. Edison out of his goal, but Edison was there first and cleans the ball out of play for a throw in almost level with the Man City penalty area on the left hand side of on the West Ham flank, on the far side, on the near side I should say. And here is Gibbs to take it infield towards Robson-Canu, and Canu now having to turn Robson-Canu, that is, and another throw now. Still 3-1. A goal now for West Brom could make things a bit more interesting. Gibbs is going to take a long throw, 5 yards in from the byline. Long throw into the penalty area. Robson-Canu couldn't get the touch to flick it on. It will be another throw to West Brom. A little bit further out this time, about 5 to 10 yards from the edge of the penalty area. And taken again, long one from Gibbs into the penalty area it goes. Comes to Karajak, who shoots, but it deflects away, and then back in with interest by Gareth Barry, formerly of Manchester City of course, as well as Aston Villa and Everton. And here comes a break on here. Jesus couldn't get it through the centre, and in the end it's hooked away. And that's good defending again from West Brom. Really is stout defending. Long ball towards Rodriguez. Robson-Canu is further forward and was onside, but Rodriguez didn't spot him. Played it out to the far side of Phillips, but he's lost it this time. Oh, that's a very, very high tackle there by Otamendi, and I'm sure he'll get the yellow card. He will. It was a silly tackle there by Nicholas Otamendi. It really was. There was just no need for it. I mean, fair enough, the ball's there to be won, but he's absolutely clattered into Jake Livermore and has wiped him clean out. And West Brom here have got themselves a good result here, potentially, if they could make something from this free kick. Otamendi, as I say, is in the book. It's been confirmed to me. Free kick to West Bromwich Albion. is there a sting in the tail towards the end of this game? The last 20 minutes, of course, here at the Hawthorns. Remember, the classifiers to come at around about 5 o'clock. We'll leave at about 20 past 5 this afternoon. Here comes the free kick. Barry floats it in towards the back post, headed away by the defence of Manchester City. John Stones, I think, getting a header in. Here's a chance now for Sterling to run at the defenders. Raheem Sterling, who's got the third goal, has been clipped there by Arizari, and he's going to get a yellow card. Mike Jones quickly into his pocket and books the man Hagzagi. Was always going to be found wanting, I suppose, on a head race down the near side, and he had to in the end push over his man and give the yellow card away. He's accepted it. Mohammed Al Sayed Zaghi, to give him his full proper name. There is Pep Guardiola still wanting more from his team. As De Bruyne takes charge now for Manchester City. Now Silva has it. West Brom 1, Man City 3. What a performance it has been from a team that's been champions twice in the last few years, 2012 and 2014. Roberto Mancini winning it in 2012 on the last kick of the game. Who can remember Sergio Aguero scoring in that day? And then, of course, there was that they did a little double as well, sorts, when they won the Premier League and the League Cup back in 2014. The title in 3 years. Chelsea, Leicester, and Chelsea again have won it the last 3 years. Still can't quite get my head around how Leicester won the league that 2 years ago, but there we go. Here's a chance now for Sané, who's onside, but his first touch is heavy, and the ball bounces favourably there for Ben Foster, who takes delivery of it, no problem at all. Still 3-1 to Manchester City, and here comes Kyle Walker over halfway. Walker infield once again. You can listen to this game later on if you've missed it live. The commentary is available on my YouTube channel. If you want to listen to the whole match again, or you haven't listened to it and would like to, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you're more than welcome to do that to your heart's content. City have got a free kick and have taken it quickly with Walker back to De Bruyne. De Bruyne, who's actually worked very hard, hasn't scored today, but has really performed a really good service today. He's had his usual consistent game. Just to remind you of anybody that's coming late, Liverpool 2, Huddersfield 0 is the latest score. Arsenal 2, Swansea 1 is also a latest score. West Ham winning 2-1 against Crystal Palace at the Selhurst, and it's Watford 0, Stoke 1. Here's Jesus. Out comes Ben Foster, edge of his penalty area, as he just went right through the centre. Got one-on-one basically with Ben Foster, but Foster was quickly out and hooked the ball away from any possible danger of a fourth City goal. Here's Kyle Walker now for City. Infield to De Bruyne, back out again to the right hand side, back to Stones to Walker. Walker turns, finds De Bruyne, who in turn finds Stones, who in turn finds Otamendi. Otamendi now just trotting towards the centre circle, finds Bernardinho, back to Otamendi once again, and then ball back to the City penalty area. Henderson getting a rare touch here in the second half. 74 minutes and 41 seconds of the second half gone. Going up towards the last quarter hour. Here's Walker now for City. Just cuts in from the right hand side a little bit. Ball will break nicely here for Sterling. Sterling infield to De Bruyne. De Bruyne now to Silva. Silva just keeping possession. Just drifts out to the right. And here's Walker. Plenty of space for the cross perhaps. No, back to Sterling it goes. Sterling again to De Bruyne. Back to Sterling. And the ball's way behind Sterling, out of play for a West Brom throw. Almost on halfway inside our own half. Well, we've had 75 minutes gone at the Hawthorns. At the moment it looks as if the points are heading to Manchester, unless Rodriguez can do something. The West Brom scorer. Still Rodriguez did well, tried to measure it out across, but it was well charged down and well kept in, I have to say, by the City defence. So again, to say they're a team full of stylish players. That was terrific defensive discipline. This is De Bruyne though for Manchester City. Over halfway he goes. So finds Leroy Sané. Sané again does well to get it to De Bruyne. Now Silva. Look at this now. Football played at the highest order. And again, City just keep a possession. However hard West Brom will try. Still no change elsewhere. Here is Manchester City. West Brom now still very much in defensive mode. That's surely got to be a free kick. Well, by Kieran Gibbs on Raheem Sterling. We've had 76.5 minutes at the Hawthorns, and it's still West Brom 1, Manchester City 3. The new fluorescent balls new to the Premier League for the first time. Gary Megson alongside Tony Pulis. Gary Megson was in fact the man that got West Brom back into the top flight for the first time in X amount of years, back in 2002. Won against Crystal Palace, you may remember, on the last day of the season, and edged out Wolves, who lost out to Norwich in those semi-finals that season, and who went on to play Birmingham and were beaten on penalties by Birmingham. Still 3-1. Here's De Bruyne deep inside West Brom territory. De Bruyne now carries it and finds Silva, edge of the area, to the right of the area, chips that in towards the back post. Sané is lurking. First touch was a little heavy. Will keep that in with his head. Sané over on the far side, almost by the far corner quadrant. Keeps the ball alive, finds Fernandinho. Fernandinho now waiting his moment, getting the ball into the area. And now De Bruyne, lovely weighted ball again to Sané on the left. Sané now to De Bruyne, but well picked out. Well picked off, and here come West Brom trying to make something happen. Rodriguez trying to get something going here, and Rodriguez good skills, but still needs to get over halfway line. He's got over halfway line. He goes down. The referee says no, and Rodriguez expected a free kick there. Could be controversial if West Brom concede from there. It did look a free kick to me. We've had 77. We're into the 77th minute of the game. 3-1 to Manchester City. 78 minutes in fact have gone. Liverpool now extend their lead to 3 against Huddersfield. Good second half from Klopp's men. Arsenal still winning by 2-1. Crystal Palace 1, West Ham 2, and Watford 0, Stoke 1. All latest scores, and Bournemouth Chelsea kick off at 5:30 British summer time here in the United Kingdom. Here comes David Silva for Manchester City. Here, 3-1 they lead. And we do have viewers or listeners from all around the world as well. This game being brought to you worldwide. This is De Bruyne. De Bruyne now running at the defenders. It's De Bruyne all the way to the area, and he just keeps his balance there, but he can't thread the ball to De Bruyne, who had made a good run from that earlier pass. And West Brom now, they need to score 2 goals in the very little time that remains here if they're going to get an opportunity of a point, let alone 3 points. But it's been a particularly good performance, really disciplined performance from Manchester City. It really has been. And a free kick it is to West Bromwich Albion, foul there. And Chris Brunt, rather James McLean, sorry, is going to come on. A 10-minute cameo. We still haven't seen anything of Sergio Aguero as yet today. And it looks as if Pulis is sacrificing everything now to go out and try and get back into this game. 18 minutes of the game gone. And comes McLean to replace Karajak. I'm sort of glad McLean's come up for him, though I don't have to say his name. The man who's just come off. But it's Manchester City winning by 3-1. In case you've just joined us late, you've been shopping with your missus or your mum or your dad or whatever, you've joined us late. Man City scored the opening goal after about 10 minutes through Leroy Sané, and then after 13 minutes Rodriguez with the equaliser. Then 2 minutes later Fernandinho with a 25-yard deflected shot that hit the post and went into the right hand corner. And a few minutes ago, that's a complete and utter foul there. I'm surprised the referee didn't give that. He totally shoved down De Bruyne. That was brainless football there, Brom. James McLean, it was bordering on the lines of assault, and the referee waved it away. Poor referee, I have to say, from referee Jones. Here's McLean, very lucky to get away with a possible free kick and a yellow card, perhaps. Still McLean. It did look like a pure shove to the ground there, and I'm sure the referee's got to have words with James McLean, because he must have seen that. And I think we're going to see. Are we going to see a City change? Is it Sergio Aguero about to come on? I don't think it is. It's Gundogan who's going to come on. So Sterling came on, and off comes, I think it's Jesus that comes off. So obviously Gundogan will come on. Still no sign of Sergio Aguero yet, and there's not long to go. Are we going to see? We're hoping to get Aguero, because we could see history made here on the YouTube channel. It could be an outright City scorer today, but maybe he's being rested up for the Champions League on Tuesday. In fact, it's the reverse of all the other games that took place in match day 3. We've got one of them on Wednesday, and it's a cracker. Tottenham Hotspur against Real Madrid from Wembley. Will Harry Kane be fit for that one? Find out on Wednesday night. Again, James McLean, a very hard tackle there indeed. Should have been penalised and booked for offence when he completely pushed over and cleaned out, really, Kevin De Bruyne. No change anywhere else. Liverpool, as I said, went 3 up. Stoke are winning at Watford. Man United won at Tottenham earlier today. Liverpool, as you can see, as well, I can see 3-0 up against Huddersfield. Arsenal 2, Swansea 1, and Crystal Palace 1, West Ham 2. I know all the results as the moment, and it looks like being a good result there for Stoke. Mark Hughes under a bit of pressure down at the Bet365 Stadium, and then Sarri Silva inexplicably puts the ball out of play, and deep inside West Brom territory. West Brom get a throw, which they take very quickly. And the only consolation I can give West Bromwich Albion fans, at least you don't have to play this Man City every week, because let's be honest, they have dominated the second half from start almost to finish. They've not allowed West Brom any time on the ball. West Ham have had a couple of half chances, but nothing more, nothing less. Still 3-1. And here's Sterling, away from his man. Sterling lays it into De Bruyne, who's deserved the goal, but puts the effort wide with his right foot, and it's way to the City fans. Almost hit the side netting. De Bruyne, whose players really has deserved a goal today, stayed on side as well, and in the end it was a poor finish from his considerable high standards. His midfield players certainly deserved a goal today. Just scuffed it, didn't he, with his right foot. Goal kick to the men from Manchester, blue half of Manchester. So far haven't really made the big impact in the Champions League as they would have liked, but at the moment it looks as if it's going to be a comfortable win for them today. The Premier League they've won a couple of times in the last sort of 5 or 6 years. They haven't won it for 3 years, having missed out to Chelsea in 05 or 15, then 2 years ago to Leicester in that never to be forgotten season, and of course Chelsea completely ran away with it towards the back end of last year, although City did make a good start. But at the moment, even though we're going now into the winter months, Manchester City look a team transformed, look a team in a very good place at the moment, and playing with some real confidence. That looked like handball as De Bruyne tried to stab it forward. It looked a clear handball there by Kieran Gibbs. Referee was about 40 yards away, couldn't see it, or couldn't possibly see it from his viewpoint. But City get a throw, they've taken it quickly. De Bruyne over the halfway line, and Otamendi now just calmly bring it away inside the last 5 minutes of the game. Plus stoppage time. Here's Gundogan to Silva to Sané. We've got the opening goal of the game, and here come Manchester City. Just Gundogan and Silva playing some lovely little 1-2s here. 15 yards inside the West Brom half of the field. Ball breaks nicely for Gundogan, and he might get a shot in. He might go and find Sterling into the penalty area. Silva turns, gets his shot in. He was onside, and a good save with his legs by Ben Foster. Backpedal a little bit, got his legs in the way, and just hooked it up with his ankles. That was good goalkeeping there by the former England man, Ben Foster. Still to come later on in the Premier League. It's Sport Chelsea at 5:30 in the evening. Remember, we're back at 11:50 tomorrow morning for a cracking Second City derby in the Midlands. You could say it's a Midlands special, really, for the match this weekend. At the Hawthorns today, and then commentating on the game at Birmingham the next. Still ball back with ball back again, and it's still 3-1 to Man City. 3 minutes just under to go now of the game. Remember, at 5 o'clock we've got the full classified check. That's a foul there on Fernandinho. No card, so carry on. Fernandinho from Walker's pass now. Silva, who like De Bruyne was covered every blade of grass with great maturity and great poise. Gundogan through the centre. Here's De Bruyne, whose play has deserved the goal. His all-round individual performance, I should say, has deserved the goal. Here's Robson Kelly trying to get it forward, but the substitution he's had, the substitutions that Piers has had, has not really had the desired effect, I'm afraid, in terms of the overall scoreline. That third one was probably going to be the killer. Just 2 minutes of normal time left to play, and then stoppage time, and then West Brom can be blown out of their misery by the referee. Although they are trying to close down, and Evans goes in there. Pretty hard aerial tackle there, but that's a foul. No, it isn't. It looked a hard challenge to me. The referee allowed it to go on. Rodriguez would have been offside anyway. I think the referee stopped it. This was the save from Foster a minute or two ago. Sterling laying the ball in there, and looked onside. Looked offside, Silva to me, but still Foster going the wrong way. Used his left leg to hook the ball away. It was a terrific piece of goalkeeping. Into the last minute of normal time then at the Hawthorns, as Manchester City lead 3-1, and very comfortable, good value for what could well be an important win, which will put them 5 points ahead of the Premier League table. Silva keeps it alive over on the far side for Manchester City, who are now just playing out time the way they see fit by keeping possession, and letting West Brom really just go through the motions inside the last 30 seconds then of the match. And then it'll be down to the fourth official to tell us how long we'll have at the end. Remember, at 5 o'clock, which is something in the region of about 12 minutes from now, a full classified check, and we'll check on all the goals as they go in towards the back end, because there'll be plenty of them going in. Liverpool 3, Huddersfield 0, Swansea losing 2-1 to Arsenal, Crystal Palace 1, West Ham 2, and Watford 0, Stoke 1. It has been one of those great days. Earlier today, a big goal from Anthony Martial has put Manchester United in control of second place. The gap before the start of play was 2 points at the Hawthorns because of Manchester United's win. 3 more minutes to be added on. We went halfway through the first of them. And here come Manchester City on the break. Looks as if we're not going to see Aguero. Here's Gundogan in towards Sané, trying to pull the ball back across to Sterling. He's a bit frustrated. Ben Foster did well, cut the ball out. At the moment, wins for West Ham, Stoke City, Liverpool and Manchester City. And West Ham as well. That's a good ball towards the penalty area. And it's got in for West Brom. It's 3-1. All of a sudden it's back in the melting pot. A defensive mistake. And Al Robson, Matt Phillips rather, came in inside the 6-yard box and has given West Brom hope. It's 3-2. Flag stayed down. It was a poor ball by Otamendi. He chested it down. Really dangerous thing to do, really. Played chicken there. Matt Phillips, full marks to it, gambled inside the 6-yard area and stuck a foot out and got there before Edison did and tucks it into the back of the net. Edison had to mind out of the way, considering he had that we had that Mane incident at Liverpool when they played Manchester City when they were beaten 5-0. Meanwhile, here come Manchester City now, 3-2 now. Good game this has been. Is it going to be a fourth one here? No, not this time. We've got a minute of normal time left, and all of a sudden West Brom, if they score again, they could still pinch a point from this. And it's not beyond the realms of possibility. City are hanging on now. When it looked like such a comfortable victory, now it's going to be anything but comfortable. Because of a silly mistake by Otamendi. I have to say, JB's man of the match has to go to Kevin De Bruyne. I think he has performed admirably well. 30 seconds of stoppage time to go. James McLean having words with the referee. So too Kyle Walker. Ball was there to be won. Oh, McLean. It's a good job he didn't get any of the man. Any of Kyle Walker. Otherwise there may have been some... there may have well been a red card at the end of that. Would have been an unsatisfactory end to what's been a magnificent game of football. And you've got to give credit to both West Brom and Manchester City for making it so. Certainly in the first opening 15 minutes where it ebbed and flowed. We've played the 3 minutes and surely there'll be no time for anything else. A kick away by Edison. Referee Jones checks his watch. The ball's out of play. I think he's going to allow a little bit more time because of the time it took for West Brom, because of the West Brom goal. So there's going to be a little bit more time to be added on at the end of time added on. We've played 20 seconds over the allotment. As Foster gets it away, still no check of the watch from the referee. But now there is no more because West Brom have been beaten. No, it's not. I thought there had been no more, but the linesman is blown for offside. Bit premature now. Now the referee's having to book players here. There's a yellow card being brandished. I can't say who that was. It's gone to Kyle Walker, I think. We're now almost a minute into time added on, at the end of time added on. Kyle Walker's now been booked. And I think there must have been a dissent or something. Been a dissent there. We've played 1 minute over the free. And showing now that must be it now. But what an entertaining game these two teams put on at the Hawthorns today. And certainly, in my book, if Sky Sports were going to decide the game of the day, I think they've chosen the right one. Here's Sterling through the centre, but well taken by Foster. And there goes the full-time whistle then at the Hawthorns. A really good, entertaining game of football. Really enjoyable, and it was enjoyable actually see Manchester City play really well. Meanwhile, we just wake up at the moment as we just see an opportunity there for Palace. They're just playing at the moment. They've just hit the crossbar from a corner. As the teams come off at Selhurst, I'm just watching some replays from the Palace game. They're still deep into 6 minutes of time added on. So this is Selhurst Park. And we're going to just bring you commentary from this from Tony Gale and Gary Taphouse. No, we're not. We're not going to bring you that. So 600 minutes on there. Right, we're going to go straight to our results service now, full classified check. So 6 minutes of time on. We'll keep you abreast of what's happening elsewhere in that Palace West Ham game. They're still playing on there. 6 added minutes, remember, at the end of the game. So let's just give you the details from today's match at the Hawthorns, shall we? Goals for Rodriguez and Phillips at the end for West Brom. Goals from Sané, Fernandinho and Raheem Sterling settled the issue there. And so we're going to go over to... Right, we're going to go to the... we're going to go to the end with this now. I have to say, some great performances there from Manchester City. I thought West Brom had done well. They were a little bit quiet maybe throughout the time we were playing in the second half, but they were really superb to a man. And so we've got 6 minutes then. Right, let's have a look at some of the scores as we come in. Full-time whistle got at Anfield. 3-0 winners there, Liverpool. Gateshead Dover 0-0. And Fylde have gone 4 up at Solihull in the National League. Jack Muldoon, former Lincoln player, with a goal there. Luton 0, Coventry 2. Kane Wilson has been sent off down at Exeter. We've got a little video printer. Looks like Burton and Ipswich was an earlier result. So Burton and Ipswich has just been blown. They're finished. Eastbourne 3, Harborough 1. Northampton have beaten Blackpool. Fleetwood have beaten Oxford. And are still playing at Watford, as Fletcher's 16th minute goal looks like being the difference there. Ex-West Brom, of course. Accrington, what a win for them today at home to Barnet. They are right up amongst the front runners for promotion to League One on the worst, probably on the smallest ever budget there has been for League Two football. It's just unbelievable how they've gone about their business. Full credit to Joe Coleman and his boys. Terrific performance. Hartlepool have won at Torquay. Gateshead and Dover's finished 0-0. They're still playing at Vicarage Road. Watford 0, Stoke 1. You've heard West Brom Manchester City play. Meanwhile, just break off at Selhurst Park, still going on there, and the ball's right at the other end of the ground where Palace don't want it to be. We're now into the last of the 6 minutes, and there's a break on here. I'm just watching it on a monitor here, and it's there could be a leg drama there. Will Sahar tried to cut in field, but it looks as if it's going to be Roy Hodgson's day. It's not going to be Roy Hodgson's day. So full time Arsenal 2, Arsenal won 2-1. So it looks as if Luton are going to lose 2-0 to Coventry. They've had a man sent off, Ray. McNulty got the first for Coventry. Shipley has scored 2 minutes into stoppage time, so it looks as if the game's been won there. Eastleigh have beaten Macclesfield. Aberdeen have beaten Ross County. There's been a late bit of goal there in the game at Craven Cottage, I think. Bolton's so close to a famous victory, but Fulham have equalised right at the end. Tom Kearney with the equaliser, so it's all gone horribly wrong there for Bolton. As for Wickham and Cheltenham, they drew 3-0. Burnley have won by a goal to nil away from home. Cardiff 0, Millwall 0. So Cardiff, who were former leaders, on a bit of a bad run at the moment. Tranmere have beaten Halifax in the conference 4-2. Bury have been beaten by Doncaster. Wigan 0, Blackburn 0. And Derby have won 2-1 in the Championship against Norwich. Arsenal have gone through 2-1 winners against Swansea, having trailed for a long time there in that one. Colchester 3, Crew 1. Big result there for Colchester in League 2. And we're still deep into time added on at Selhurst. Hernandez and Ayew for West Ham. Mihailovic with a penalty. Hits his first goal of the season. Oldham have lost for the first time since the change in management. 3-2 loss they've had at Boundary Park today against Scunthorpe United. Port Vale are on a downward spiral, beaten to a pulp 3-0. Dundee 1, Hamilton Academicals 3. Bradford have won a big result there down at Fratton Park. 1-0 against Portsmouth. Big result for them. Of course, going through Grimsby 0, Greenbridge 0. But we'll try and get some reaction from the game we've just witnessed today, which is West Brom 2, Manchester City 3. Great commentary game for us to pick there. Just to remind you, tomorrow we have the Second City Derby live for you here, only on the JB Clark YouTube channel. We have Birmingham against Aston Villa coming to you. A big result there for Kilmarnock in Scotland. Celtic 1, Kilmarnock 1. Now it's sort of half open speaks Hope for the rest, like Aberdeen and Rangers at the top of that table. Burnley have had a good result today, so they've probably got half a chance to catch up. MK Dons have been soundly beaten there against Bristol Rovers 2-0. Wigan 3, Cheltenham 3. Looked a good game down there at Adams Park. 6-goal flurry. You can't get much better than that. Really good game. And now you've actually scored his third goal in 2 games. They're still into time added on there. And in fact, the whistle has gone, I'm told. No, it hasn't, because there's been something going on here. I think it's finished 2-2. Have Palace scored a late goal? They have. Palace have drawn. And it will feel like a victory for them as Simon Milic walks off, nodding his head in disapproval. That is a big result, that. And a late flurry there from Palace. They have had something like 8 minutes of stoppage time down at Selhurst. And Palace have got themselves a draw. Although it does say 2-1 on our monitor, but it certainly is 2-2. Because they're celebrated at the Holmesdale Road end, so a late goal has obviously got in there. And it looks like it was Will Sahar got the late equaliser. What a difference he's made. They're strikerless at the moment. No Connor Wickham, no Benteke. But they've pulled out the fire with a late goal, and they've saved their skins against the West Ham side, who were 2 up and seemingly coasting. And the pressure now really is back on Slaven Milic's shoulders, because West Ham had blown away a big chance. Have blown up a big chance, and now there's some shenanigans going on there. Mark Noble involved with one of the Palace players. I think it's Sacco, I think. Mark Noble is a passionate West Ham player, and he's certainly letting frustrations boil over. Meanwhile, the whistle's gone, and Marco Silva's Watford have to come to Darren Fletcher's 16th minute goal, and Stoke City have won at Watford by a goal to 0, and they'll be dancing their way back up to the Potteries tonight, the Stoke City fans. All 2,000 of them that probably made the trip down to Vicarage Road this afternoon. In the Championship, QPR 2, Wolves 1. Big result for QPR, bad result there for Wolves. So Sheffield United, as big stand, I think will stay top. Fulham have gone out a point at home to Bolton. That's County 3, Newport 0, Chesterfield 2, Carlisle 2. We're still waiting for the full classified results to come in. And another bad day at the office for Sunderland. The whistle's gone there, and I'm afraid to say it's Bristol City who have had a great week. Knocked out Palace in the Carabao Cup, drawn Manchester United in the process, and now they've gone to Sunderland and have won. And are right in the mix now at the top end of the Championship table. Great week for Bristol City, great week for Lee Johnson's side. Performance, well, certainly they've put in some great performances this season and could be dark horses to win promotion. So, what a dramatic finish. Here we had a great commentary match, 5-goal thriller. And then we had that scenes at Selhurst Park. The full-time whistle has gone, as you can see at Wrexham. Well, yes, you can hear at Wrexham, because Leyton Orient have got themselves a point there. They struggled a bit this year. Peterborough 1, Shrewsbury 0. I'm sure Mr. Durham will be pleased about that. Yeovil 3, Stevenage 0. It's the full-time score in League 2. We're still waiting for the to bring in all the classified checks, and I'll bring them to you in just a minute. But a big result there for Brentford. I didn't expect them to win at Preston today, but Yaris, Sawyers and Watkins, the goal scorers there. Maguire and Blackhausen with the goals for Preston. But it's 3-2 to Brentford. It's finished, and well, they haven't finished yet, but it's a late result. There's another goal that's gone in elsewhere. Could be an important goal at the other. It's certainly not in the Premier League. In fact, it's England, and it's going to be. I think they're going to win the World Cup. They're 68 minutes in, and England leads Spain 3-2 in the Under-17 World Cup final. 3-2, England lead. Can they hold on? I'm sure if they hold on, they'll be brilliant. But now, at around about 3 minutes past 5, let's get the full classified. But now, at 3 minutes past 5, as we wait now, all the results are in. We're just waiting for all the classifieds to come in. So, let's get a full. So, we'll get a full classified check now on all today's action from England and from Scotland and from Ireland. Here comes the full classified check. And we start with the Premier League, of course. Arsenal 2, Swansea City 1. Bournemouth against Chelsea is an evening kick-off. Crystal Palace 2, West Ham United 2. Liverpool 3, Huddersfield Town 0. Manchester United 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0. Watford 0, Stoke City 1. And finally our match, West Brom 2, Manchester City 3. We're going to the Sky Bet Championship now. Burton Albion 1, Ipswich Town 2, Cardiff City 0, Millwall 0, Fulham 1, Bolton Wanderers 1. Hull City against Nottingham Forest is an evening kick-off at 5:30. Norwich 1, Derby County 2, Preston North End 2, Brentford 3, that's the latest score deep into stoppage time there. QPR 2, Wolves 1, Reading 0, Middlesbrough 2, Sheffield Wednesday 1, Barnsley 1, and Sunderland 1, Bristol City 2. We're moving to League 1 now. Bristol Rovers 2, the MK Dons 0. Bury 0, Doncaster Rovers 1. Charlton 1, Wimbledon 0. Fleetwood 2, Oxford United 0. Northampton Town 1, Blackpool 0. Oldham Athletic 2, Scunthorpe United 3. Peterborough United 1, Shrewsbury Town 0. Plymouth Argyle 1, Rochdale 1. Portsmouth 0, Bradford City 1. Rotherham 1, Gillingham 3. Walsall 0, Southend United 1, and Wigan Athletic 0, Blackburn Rovers 0. League 2 now. Accrington Stanley 4, Barnet 1, Chesterfield 2, Carlisle 2, Colchester 3, Crewe Alexandra 1, Forest Green Rovers 2, Morecambe 0, Grimsby Town 0, Cambridge United 0, Lincoln City 0, Crawley Town 0, Luton Town 0, Coventry City 3, Mansfield 1, Exeter City 1, Notts County 3, Newport County 0, Port Vale 0, Swindon Town 3, Wycombe Wanderers 3, Cheltenham Town 3, and Yeovil 3, Stevenage Borough 0. Into the Vanarama National League. Barrow 3, Aldershot 1, Boreham Wood 2, Bromley 2, Gateshead 0, Dover Athletic 0, Macclesfield 1, Eastleigh 2, Maidenhead 1, Dagenham Redbridge 1, Maidstone 1, Chester 0, Solihull 0, File 4, Sutton 0, Ipswich United 0, Torquay 0, Hartlepool 2, Tranmere Rovers 2, Woking 2, Guiseley 3, Leyton Orient 2. And now into Scotland with the Ladbrokes Premiership. Aberdeen 2, Notts County 1. Celtic 1, Kilmarnock 1. Dundee 1, Hamilton Academicals 3. Hearts 1, Rangers 3. Motherwell 0, Hibernian 1. And Partick Thistle 1, St Johnstone 0. Ladbrokes Championship. Dumbarton 0, Dundee United 2. Inverness Caledonian Thistle 1, Dunfermline 0. Livingston 3, Breaking 2. Queen of the South 4, Falkirk 2. And St Mirren 2, Greenock Morton 2. League 1, Adrianians 2, Albion Rovers 2. Ayr United 2, Stranraer 0. East Fife 3, Arbroath 1. Forfar 1, Raith Rovers 1. And Queen's Park 0, Alloa Athletic 4. Into League 2, Berwick Rangers 1, Cowdenbeath 0. Clyde 2, Elgin 4. Montrose 1, Edinburgh City 0. Peterhead 1, Hannon 0. And Stirling Albion 1, Stenhousemuir 2. The JD Welsh Premier League. Carmarthen against Ballatown is an evening kick-off. Llandudno 2, Newtown 1, Prestatyn 1, Aberystwyth 2, and the New Saints FC 2, Cardiff MU 1. Finally, the Danske Bank Irish Premiership. Ballymena 3, Warren Point 3, Carrick Rangers 0, Glenarvan 2, Coleraine 3, Glentoran 0, Gannon Swifts 0, Cliftonville 4, and finally Enfield 2, Ards 0. And so to the tables, and the late result has just come in. Preston North End 2, Brentford 3, so that's been confirmed as a result. So to the tables then, and to the top of the Premier League then. And we have Manchester City top with 28 points, a 5-point gap to Man City, who've played 10 games, 23. Then come Arsenal, Tottenham, Arsenal completing the top 4. Then Chelsea, Liverpool, Watford, Newcastle and Burnley in 8th and 9th. They face off on Monday night. Southampton play tomorrow against Brighton. And then Huddersfield drop into the bottom half. At the bottom end, Palace on 4 points, 4 points from safety. Bournemouth then come 3 points better off. They play at 5:30 against Chelsea. Everton in the bottom 3 as well. Sheffield United and Wolves are the top 2 in the Championship, with Cardiff a point back in 3rd place. Bristol City marching up the table into 4th. We're ahead of Leeds and Aston Villa, who play in our big match tomorrow. At the other end of the table, Bolton, it's looking bleak for them at the moment. So too Sunderland. Burton Albion a point out. Birmingham a point above the relegation zone. As I say, they play Aston Villa in our main match tomorrow. Shrewsbury and Wigan leading the way by 6 or 7 points between them. Bradford now catching up with Charlton and Scunthorpe. Rotherham are now ahead in the playoffs above Blackburn Rovers. At the moment, it's Wimbledon and Northampton, Northampton just out of it. Just in there on goal difference. Then come Gillingham, Plymouth and Bury. Notts County and Accrington are the pace, and Luton are the pace setters. Lexington a point further back in 4th. Swindon, Coventry and Wickham complete the playoff picture. At the other end of the table, Morecambe are in desperate trouble. Jim Bentley's Morecambe a point in the relegation zone on goal difference, and Chesterfield rather way back in with only 9 points to their name. Dover are top by a point from Macclesfield. Wrexham, Sutton, Maidstone, Dagenham and Redbridge and Bromley complete the playoff picture. Hartlepool lying 12th at the moment. At the other end of the table, however, Torquay United, a Football League for so many years, 23rd place with Solihull on 24 with the same amount of points. Then come Barrow and Chester by only not so much. Celtic now a point clear of Aberdeen, and then a further 6 points ahead of Rangers, who are in 3rd. At the other end of the table, Dundee and Kilmarnock are the teams endangered. Ross County and Partick Thistle and Appleton Academicals really aren't that far away. So there we are. That completes the picture really from everything that's happened today. Really terrific action. We had a big match on our YouTube channel today. 2-3 finished there. We're just hearing from Crystal Palace at the moment as they react to a 2-2 draw. Let's hear from Wolf Sahar then, actually, as he speaks right now to the media.
I think we deserved the point at least, because we played so well in that game, and it's like had so many chances, so I'm happy for the team.
What was said at half-time, because that was a very difficult situation for you to be in, 2-0 down, given the position you're in? What was said?
The gaffer basically just said, just carry on, you're not playing poor, it's not going your way, so keep doing what you're doing, and eventually it'll change. It did.
Well, the home hero once more.
Yeah, well, I'm happy to just do what I can for the team, really, so yeah, I'm buzzing.
He's buzzing all right. What a performance! What a great comeback though from Crystal Palace. I have to say, I didn't give Palace a price at the start of the day. I thought they were going to be soundly beaten, because you thought with West Ham going through to the semi-finals, having come back from the dead in that one, you did think for all intents and purposes that they would come back and win the game today, but they were 2 up and really were coasting today, and then they sort of tried to throw it away, and the late individual goal from Will Sahar was just, well, what can we say really? It saved Crystal Palace's skin, if you like. So a real important point there, Said, if you put it into context there for Crystal Palace. They're still struggling at the front of the table, but I tell you what, there's grounds for optimism at Selhurst Park right now. Win over Chelsea in their last home game, a point against West Ham just as dramatically now in the latest home game. 2-2 it's finished. A great result there for Crystal Palace, and who knows what might happen for the rest of the season. But that really does give them lift off as far as the points are concerned. Point is always an important one. So great result there for Crystal Palace. We're just waiting for some reaction to our match today. That was West Brom 2, Manchester City 3. A dramatic game as well, although we had 3 goals in the first 15 minutes of the game there. It was end to end flowing stuff. It really was. It was to and fro-ing. You heard it all. In case you came in late, we had Sané putting City ahead, and then back came Jay Rodriguez to make it 1-1, and then a few minutes later we had the second goal, really from a terrific goal really from Fernandinho off the left hand post and into the right hand corner, and then the third goal as we go into the left halfway through the second half of Sterling, and then back came with a late Matt Phillips with a late goal. And let's hear from Joe Hart after West Ham's 2-2 draw with Crystal Palace.
I can't believe we've done that. We've come in quick after the game. Probably shouldn't have come in quick after the game, but yeah, I can't believe we've fought all the way to the end like that and then been so unprofessional at the end.
You're almost speechless now. Is it speechless in the dressing room?
Yeah, a little bit. You know, no one does things on purpose in this team, but I think it's 2 points dropped, as simple as that.
You train for moments where you're shutting a game out, and the team didn't do that. Obviously, your frustration shows from that.
Yeah, well, we did to a certain extent. We did, and then football's a funny game, and I thought Zaha and Towns and Saka, when he came on with Loftus, I thought they played really well, and giving credit to them. I thought we played well, but you know, you can't let people. Obviously, we've got to keep the ball in the corner. That's screaming out obvious, but we can't let people keep running through us and getting chances.
Well, damning words there from Joe Hart. He was absolutely, as you saw at the start, as you heard at the start of the interview, totally and utterly speechless. And he's right about one thing: you can't let Zaha go on a run like that. And then, you know, it's just I understand Joe Hart's frustration. It's difficult for West Ham at the moment, and they were on a crest of a wave, having come back from the dead in the Carabao Cup at Wembley the other night against Tottenham, and then all of a sudden they've been beaten. It will feel like a defeat to them, and it really does intensify the pressure on Sam Velic. A 2-0 lead they had, and they contrived to blow that 2-goal lead, and that can sometimes, if you keep doing that consistently, you can be forced in to a relegation zone trapdoor, and I think that could well be the case. And so it finished 2-2 there. Let's see from. I think we're going to get some more reaction, I think, from elsewhere. In fact, there's been another goal in the England game. Let's see. And it's going to be a 4th-1 for England. England are now 4-2 up in the Under-17 World Cup final. We're deep into stoppage time. 84 minutes gone, and World Cup glory beckons for the Under-17s. England 4, Spain 2. What a performance that's going to be for England tonight. And they will be celebrating in India tonight. 4-2 they lead against Spain. A free kick floated in. The Spanish defence all over the place. And England prod one in from 3 yards out, and that should be World Cup glory for the Under-17s. The Under-19s won a major piece of silverware earlier this year. The Under-21s got to a European semi-final, and the women got to a World Cup semi-final, or to a European Championship semi-final themselves, and at the moment it looks as if England's Under-17s team are going to win. And I tell you what a big PR boost that will be for the Football Association after all the Mark Sampson scandal and the way that Allardyce's reign as England manager was handled and all that sort of thing. What a big PA boost for the likes of Martin Glenn and Greg Clark and everybody there at the FA. England will win the Under-17s World Cup unless they throw it away the last 2 minutes. And in fact, they score again. In fact, there's another goal, because 3 minutes later this happens. Another goal here. So 5-2 they're winning. And they're going to win the World Cup now. The number 7 striking the 5th goal, and they're all off there. The substitutes, I'm just seeing pictures of this. England 5, Spain 2. Oh my goodness me. It's going to be one big party now for the under-17s. My goodness. I'll tell you what, if the Premier League clubs can nurture this talent, what an England team we could have in the future. Could it be optimistic? We see too many false dawns. Let's hope the Premier League clubs they're at now nurture these players, get them through into the first team, get the proper first team experience, and now they'll have all the big game experience they need. It's 5-2, and England have now beaten Spain. Surely now, what a great day for English football, but certainly in the under-17s category. It's been a wonderful day for them. We're still waiting to get interviews from our featured match here, but well, if England keep going the way they are, well, who knows, but great performance there from England. On the under-17s team are going to win the World Cup. All we need now is the senior men's to win the proper version, maybe in 12 months time, and who knows, but of course they are qualified for that next year. But I'll tell you something, a great performance there by the under-17s. Let's hopefully get some interviews now from some of the Premier League games now, but I'm sure we'll hear more about the World Cup winning later. Let's hear from Darren Fletcher after Stoke had beaten Watford at Vicarage Road by a goal to 0.
No coincidence that it's the same players in the same team, but these things happen in football sometimes. People are quick, you want to defend your teammates, but you know there's too many people coming in from far distances, and we were just trying to get our teammates out of the way. And you know, sometimes it looks messy, it's not nice, but there was no malicious in it, and you know, it's emotions run high, and you shouldn't do it, and people will criticise you for it, but you know, there's a lot at stake in the Premier League, and players get criticised sometimes for not showing passion, so you know, it's harmless really, nothing untoward's happened.
Well, that's what he says, it's harmless.
Apologies for that, but there's been some fisticuffs going on in that game, bit of passion boiling over, but let's get back to the football. 1-0 to Stoke, a great performance from Stoke, a great dogged, determined Stoke, a Stoke of old really when you think about it. It's a terrific performance, so really great performance there. 1-0. Disappointment, of course, for Marco Silva's Watford, but there will be some probably repercussions going on. I don't know what has happened in that game, but I'm sure we'll hear more about it as the night goes on. And of course, when you watch it back, of course, you lot in the UK on Match of the Day later on tonight, it will be played for all to see. But there's been some controversy all down the leagues all this afternoon. Of course, the Premier League definitely the league that gets scrutinised the most, but Darren Fletcher there defended himself and his team to the help there. But big 3 points, you have to say, for Stoke City this afternoon. We're still waiting to hear from neither Tony Pulis or Pep Guardiola. We'll try to hear from one of them two before we leave. But one has got to say, great performance really from Stoke to get 3 points, and magnificent as well. Arsene Wenger now, after his team turned a 1-goal deficit into a 2-1 win against Swansea. Great result for Arsenal.
Defensively, we looked a bit insecure in the first half. You know, in the second half was better, even if the goal disallowed on offside. But overall, in the first half, we could have maybe conceded the second goal at some stage, so that would have made it much more difficult.
Final thought though, you're into the top 4. That's just a nice launch pad at this stage of the season, isn't it?
Look, we started from deep, you know, and we have responded well. And but there is more to come from us, hopefully, and that's what we want.
Well, there's a little smile there in that interview, but
apologies again, but Arsene Wenger there, great performance from Arsenal, good comeback there, and a little smile I detected there in his face. It's been a trying week for Arsenal. The AGM shenanigans. Should Stan Kroenke's son still be on the board? Should Stan Kroenke be on the board? There's all that the off-field issues haven't helped on the field, I suppose, but I'm losing 1-0 to Swansea on a potential offside goal that was it given, was it not given? I haven't seen a replay of it, so I don't know. You'll have to judge yourself on MLTD later on, or any Arsenal Swansea fans who were there today. Do you know what happened if you're listening? But anyway, great performance really from Arsenal to turn it around. That sometimes Arsenal always play pretty football, but sometimes you have to do the ugly side of the game, and Arsenal did that to terrific effect. So great performance there from them. So Arsenal into the top 4, and Arsene Wenger, a bit of a smile there after a try week, as I say, for the football club, but it's nice to end the week, I suppose, on a real high with a win like that. So great performance. Still involved in all the competitions into the last day of the Carabao, and the referee is blown for full time in India, and England's under-17s in overjoyed celebrations because they've beaten Spain in the under-17 World Cup final. 5-2 they've won. What a performance. And if these young lads who have just won this great prize so soon in their footballing careers, now they've got to be taken seriously by their clubs. They really have to go through the motions. Disappointment for Spain, side unashamedly crying, but England have done it. The under-17s have done it. They have won the FIFA under-17 World Cup, not the real World Cup, but you know what I'm saying. But well, great PR boost for England. Brewster, Gibbs Wright was amongst the scorers as well. I didn't get the full list of goal scorers there. They only had the caption on for about half a second. But a fantastic performance, and you'll hear more about that, I'm sure, as the evening develops. But a great night for English football, and a great PR boost for the FA, who have been under fire over the Mark Sampson affair with the women's team, the way they handled the Sam Allardyce sacking a year ago, all the racial abuse. Elia Luko getting compensation quite rightly for the abuse she received from Mark Sampson. It has been a horrible few weeks for the FA in particular, but this will gladden their hearts now. The under-17 boys team winning the World Cup and going over to their fans who have cheered them over there. And if these young lads can be nurtured properly by their football clubs through their academies and fed into the first team, they've got the big game experience. Throw them in. We might have a really good England team of the future, of possibly adding to the men's senior World Cup, which we won, last one of course back in 1966. The under-19s won the World Cup, the 17s have won the World Cup, and for the youngsters, a great night for them, and they'll party into the wee small hours, that is for sure. So some great news. We've had a great game of football, great commentary, and now on top of that we have the under-17s winning the World Cup, and a great boost for English football when it was needed at all levels of the game. And if these youngsters can be nurtured right by the clubs they're at, whether they're in the Premier League, Championship or so what, then what can be big stars. And if we take the Germany mould and place it in the FA and smash a few moulds at that Football Association, then that would be fantastic. So great to see. We're still waiting to get reaction from Tony Pulis and from Pep Guardiola, whose City team have gone top. It's not easy to get reaction at the moment, but Liverpool in the end were too good for Huddersfield, I should say. But I have to say, great performance really from the under-17s, and as I say, great boost for English football. And the FA, by goodness, they needed a PR boost. They got it just at the right time, perhaps, the Football Association, and they haven't had the most cleverest of weeks as regards that sort of thing. Just to remind you, whilst we're waiting for the reaction from other Premier League managers, and particularly the two managers that have taken part in our live commentary today, this afternoon, which are Tony Pulis and Pep Guardiola, just to remind you that tomorrow we have second City derby action. We're just down the road from the Hawthorns, actually, in Birmingham, at Birmingham, as Birmingham City take on Birmingham City actually take on Aston Villa tomorrow. Aston Villa in 6th place at the moment, Birmingham 1 place and 1 point above the drop zone as things stand. Lose and it could all be a bad dream for Birmingham. As for Villa, they will go in 6th place. As you see, Birmingham, as I see there, Birmingham there. But Sunderland in big trouble. 23rd, played 14 and have won only once. Drawn 6 and lost 7. And have got a -10. Yes, -10 goal difference. Are they about to take the dreaded trapdoor into League One maybe next season? Who knows what might happen there? But they have a real bottom of the table feel about that next fixture there. They're at home to Bolton and they need to get a result there next week. Otherwise it's all going to be doom and gloom for the Sunderland faithful, who've had to put up with so much trouble over the years. And also Chesterfield, FA Cup semi-finalists 20 years ago, now something like 5-6 points adrift at the and there's a little treat there. We can confirm that Crocombe for Bradford Park Avenue has been sent off urinating. Oh dear me, dear me. This football really does. It gets you down sometimes. It gets you up. Unfortunately, I think we're going to run out of time. We will have run out of time, so we won't be able to hear from Pep Guardiola or Tony Pulis, I'm afraid. But I'm sure you'll hear them on Match of the Day later on. In around about 10:30 on BBC One, but I think that's probably about it. I think from this, but let's remind you of what happened. Some great performances. I have to tell you some great performances from Manchester City, eking out 3-2 winners, go 5 points clear in our match today. Liverpool, after a shaky start, beat Huddersfield very well in the second half to win 3-0. A late victory, a late goal from Anthony Martial, winning the day in the big game in the Premier League by a goal to 0. Stoke winning a close one at home to away at Stoke, and then West Ham contriving to lose 2 late goals to Crystal Palace and a late individual goal from Will Sahar, saving Palace a point. Bournemouth and Chelsea have just kicked off, and finally the England under-17s have won the under-17s World Cup. 5-2 winners from Spain. What a way in which to leave your side. England under-17 winners, but in our main match, Manchester City go 5 points clear at the top of the Premier League table. That is it from me. We'll see you tomorrow for the second City derby, but for me, JB, I hope you enjoyed all the action and all the reaction. And back an hour tonight, and we'll see you at 11:50 Greenwich Mean Time tomorrow afternoon in the UK, tomorrow morning in the UK for live commentary from Birmingham, Aston Villa. But until then, for me, JB, after Manchester City go 5 points clear, beating West Brom 3-2 in our big commentary game this afternoon. Take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.